Welcome back to the Crypt Door podcast. I am Tony. Hope you're all doing well. Well, guys, we got another episode for you. The topic is why we feel watched even when no one is there. Now, I think I've had this experience a couple times when I'm doing my cemetery exploring for my Crypt Door channel. There's been a couple times a certain cemetery around a certain grave where I feel, I guess, watched. Like something is around me, like a presence that I can't explain nor see. And all the time I've been doing cemetery exploring, it's only happened a couple times by a certain grave. So let's jump into this, and I want you guys, if you've got experiences that pertain to this, please throw it in the comment box below. Because if I get enough of you guys spouting off and chiming in about this, that could be a whole other podcast episode altogether. So let's get into it. There's a moment most people have experienced, but almost nobody talks about. You're alone. The room is quiet. Nothing moves. Nothing changes. And yet, you feel it. Not fear, not panic, not imagination running wild, just awareness. The unmistakable sensation that you are being observed. Today, we're talking about why we feel watched, even when no one is there. Now, this is not ghosts in the cinematic sense, not paranoia, not stuff of horror movies. We're talking about the psychology, perception, atmosphere, and human awareness that create one of the most universal sensations people report. The question isn't, is something there? The question is, why does our mind interpret awareness this way? Let's slow down and walk through it. The feeling itself, what people actually report. When people describe feeling watched, the language overlaps. Someone was behind me. I felt eyes on me. The air shifted, and I suddenly became alert. Notice what's missing. Most people don't say they saw anything. The sensation happens before interpretation. It's awareness first, explanation second. Awareness versus fear. Fear is loud and immediate. The feeling of being watched is often quiet and steady. Fear says run. Awareness says notice. That distinction matters. The body reacts before the brain. Humans evolved to detect subtle cues, sound changes, pressure shifts, spatial awareness. The brain fills in gaps after the body reacts. Sometimes it fills them incorrectly, but the sensation is real. The human brain is designed to assume presence. Why? Because evolution favored survival over accuracy. If early humans hesitated when sensing something nearby, they didn't survive very long. Our brains default to something is there, even when nothing is. Your brain constantly tracks space behind you, blind angles, unseen movement. When input is complete, the brain invents possibility. And possibility feels like presence. When noise disappears, the brain scans harder. Sensitivity increases. Perception sharpens. Silence doesn't create watchers, it removes distraction. Now let's talk about environment, why places change the feeling. Some environments intensify the sensation, such as empty buildings, long hallways, cemeteries, abandoned structures, and dim rooms. These spaces alter acoustics, lighting, depth perception, and orientation. Your brain interprets unfamiliar sensory input as awareness. Now, maybe this applies to me, this part. Cemeteries and observation. People often report feeling watched in cemeteries, but cemeteries are quiet, reflective spaces where attention is heightened. You are already aware, and awareness can feel external. Architectural triggers certain structures create shadow movement, echo anomalies, visual distortion. These trigger scanning behavior. Scanning feels like being watched. Memory, expectation, and story. Expectation shapes perception. If someone believes a space is haunted, their brain searches for confirmation. But even skeptics experienced watched sensation, which tells us the feeling isn't belief driven, it's human driven. If a space carries emotional memory, grief, tension, isolation, people entered heightened awareness. Heightened awareness often feels externalized. Humans detect patterns instinctively. When patterns are unclear, the brain fills gaps with presence. Presence feels like observation. Here's the calm truth: feeling watched does not automatically mean spirits, danger, intrusion, or haunting. It means awareness is active, and awareness is powerful. Sometimes the sensation is psychological, environmental, or evolutionary. Sometimes it's simply the mind acknowledging space. People who report the sensation often notice subtle detail, move slowly, remain observant, and tolerate silence. Those who rush rarely feel watched. Noise protects from awareness. Now, feeling watched is not proof of presence, but it is proof of perception. And perception reminds us we are constantly interpreting the world, even when nothing visible changes. If you've ever felt watched in an empty room, you weren't broken, you weren't imagining danger, you were noticing awareness. And awareness doesn't always come with explanation. Sometimes it simply reminds us we are never disconnected from our surroundings as we think. Until next time, guys, stay observant, walk gently, and remember, silence doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means you're finally listening.